So coming to code structure, statements are always ends with semicolon, even if you don't give the semicolon. Usually, if it is going to next line, it should automatically add a line. But in some cases, it might not run. So it's always a best practice to give semicolon at the end of each statement. Okay. So generally, we will be writing if statement or functions or a for loop, right? For those, we don't need a semicolon after that, which we don't write it. Okay. Only for function expression will be writing. As this is a function declaration, we don't write semicolon. Even for, we don't write semicolon at end of the for. Okay. We won't write generally. Okay. So strict, we don't need strict as of now. So coming to variables, there are three types of variables: let, const, var. In service now, we only use var. Let and const are not supported. Like let and const came in ES6. Okay, and we have 8 types of data types. Okay, number, begin, string, boolean, null, undefined, object, and symbol. Okay, uh, like these all these are primitive data types apart from object. Okay, why these are primitive type? Number or a string or a boolean, these can contain only one type of data. Number can contain only numbers, strings can contain only strings, but object can contain number or a string or a boolean, anything it can contain. That's why object we call it as non-primitive type. Okay, in number we will be using integers and floating points. Floating point means 1.2, 1.3, like that. Big int is like uh, if it is very long numbers, then we'll be using big int. String will be using for strings. Boolean, if we want to store true or false, or for logical values, like to know if it is right or not, then we'll be using boolean. And null, when we will be using null? Null means when we want to say there is nothing. That means it doesn't contain anything. Okay. And coming to undefined, if we just declare a value and if we do not assign anything to it, then it will become undefined. Okay. And object is something which it can contain more than one values. Okay. And symbol, we didn't learn it. We don't use it mostly, but we will learn when it comes there. Okay. And coming to interaction, interacting with the real user, we'll be using prompt, confirm, alert. Prompt, in prompt, what we will be there, like we'll be asking a question. Okay, we'll be asking a question, and we can even give a default value, like what is your age, so that users can enter their age. Okay, and if user click on cancel, we'll get null as an output. Otherwise, whatever the value they have entered, that we will be getting. The confirm box, which will be having OK and cancel buttons. If it is click on OK, that will be true. If they click on cancel, it will be false. Alert is just the output message to show something. Okay. So coming to operators, like all the operators are general arithmetic, mathematical operators are multiplication, addition, subtraction, and division. Also, we have remainder operator, which is percentile, and like power operator, 2 to the power of 3 or 2 to the power of 4. For that, we'll be using star star. Okay. These are arithmetical operator, and coming to assignment operator means A equals to B is assignment operator. Why? Because we are assigning whatever the value of B to A. Okay, equal to is assignment operator. Okay, and short forms like A into equals to 2. That means A equals to A into 2. So this is short form of writing A equals to A into 2. Okay, so we can even write A plus equals to 2, which is A equals to A plus 2. Okay, we can use the operator before so that it itself subtracts with the right side number, or adds, or even it will do whatever the value it is there, like. Okay, so and other operators bitwise, we don't use bitwise much. uh, if you are interested, you can learn about that. And conditional operators are like if else, or tertiary operator, which is having three parameters, 1 2 3. Okay, so first we'll be having condition, like it's just like if condition, and after executing the result A or result B. If it is true, result A, whatever the result A throws, that will be storing in that particular variable. If it is false, then it will be returning into that particular result. Okay, if condition is get false. Okay, and we have like logical operators as well. Logical means and or not operators. Those we call it as logical operators. Okay, so and we will be using when we want to check whether A and B both has to satisfy, then only execute that particular condition or that particular if block. Oh, okay. For that, we'll be using and condition, or we will be using either this or that. Has to be true, then only we'll execute that particular code of law. Okay. Even we have not, which will reverse. Like if it is true, it will doing false. If it is false, it will be doing true. If we apply logical not operator. Okay. So null list policing operator doesn't support in service now, so I didn't cover it. Comparisons. Okay, comparisons means like equality check. Like if A equals to B, then for that we use comparisons, which is double equal to. Okay, even we can use triple equal to as well. For that, it will be checking even the type. Okay, here 0 equal to false returns true. Why? Because it internally try to convert this false to a number. Okay, because it's a double equal to, so it will auto convert it. Okay, so 0 equal to false of number is 0, right? So 0 equal to 0, it will be true. Even it will be same for like empty string as well. Even like if you want to check even the type, then what you can do, you can use triple equal to. Okay, and there will be few more other operators, like comma is an operator. Like there are other operators as well. Okay, and coming to loops, we have three types of loops, which is while, do while, and for. Okay, so we know while is first condition it will be checking, and it will be executing, and then it will be incrementing, and again condition will be checked. So this condition, how many times it will check? Until it gets true. So until and unless the condition gets true, till then it will be running. Okay, and coming to do while, first it will be executing this, and then it will be checking for the condition. First it will be executing. Okay, if there is any increment or decrement, that will be doing, and it will be executing this particular condition. Okay, for and while is same, but the representation is different. Okay, Here also first it will be initializing. In while also will be initializing above while. Okay. Here also it will be first we will be initializing. Okay. Then we'll be checking for the first time condition. Then we'll be executing this block of code. Okay. And then we'll be increment or decrement. Okay. After increment or decrement, what we'll do? We'll again check for the condition. If condition gets true, then only we'll execute this block of code. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can like stop me or ask me. Okay. Okay. Coming to switch, like when we will be using switch, where you want to check whether something is equal to, like for example, as we learned is if it is Tuesday or Monday, we want to execute some block of code, right? So whatever the value it is there, if you want to check with multiple cases means multiple things. And if that matches, we want to show something or print something, then in those cases we'll be using using switch statements. And it will always check for strict equality. That means like if it is number, like for in the age, if we have number, then case also should be a number. Okay. Here we are asking for your age. We are giving 18, but prompt what it will do, it will automatically convert it to string, the output whichever we enter. So age, it should, it will be string 18, not number 18. Okay. That's why the output will be this works. Okay. Because prompt or alert or any like models, it will automatically convert these to a number, any input. Okay. And coming to functions, so it is function declaration. Okay. Where function can have some parameters. Okay, this is the parameter and this is the function name and this is the block of code, and we can return that this result. How to call this function? We have to give some 2 comma 3 and semicolon, 2 comma 3 after bracket semicolon, so that this function will get called. Okay. And coming to function expression, so this all this block of code with the function, it will be assigned to this some variable. Okay. That's why it is a function expression. Okay. Arrow function we didn't learn, but I can tell you a little bit. Here we don't use the function keyword. Okay, what we'll do? Sum equals to, here we are passing the parameter and we are giving the arrow. Okay, arrow function means this, instead of this block, we are giving the arrow, and a plus b means it will calculate a plus b and it will automatically return this. Okay, as it's a single line one. Okay. And if you don't have like if you have multiple block of lines, if you have to execute, then we'll be using the, like after arrow function, arrow after arrow we'll be using this particular block kind of thing, and then we'll be returning the result. So here you have to just remember, like instead of function we don't write this function, but after this parameter we will be using this arrow kind of thing. There is no difference, and we don't use it in this service now. That's why I didn't tell you. Okay. If we do not have to pass any arguments, we can simply put empty brackets. And if we have single argument, then we can pass only single arguments without these brackets. Okay. So arrow functions initially it might be little bit confusing, but if you keep on practicing and running, then you can get to know. But we don't use it in service. Okay. So code quality, you can read out yourself like how to write the code. Okay. Like for example, I'll go to coding style. Okay. Coding style means like how many spaces exactly you have to give. Like do you have to give like for example, this is a function, right? Okay. After clicking on enter, here there are two spaces. Okay. And there is some gap between this particular variable declaration and for loop because it's a different block together. Okay. And whenever like let I equals 0, like any operators, we are giving the space so that it will be looking cleaner, and you can learn like you can like anyone can read from little bit of distance as well. Okay. Here we are writing if, and here there are two variables, so we are giving the space. And whenever there are some parameters we are passing to any operators, after comma we should give space. Okay. So these you should know. Like whenever you are declaring a variable, okay, there is operator, so there should be a space left side and right side. Okay. Are you getting?
Yes, Sunil.
So these are things whenever you write, you should recheck the code, like you are following the spaces and any new line spaces or not. Okay. And comments, I already told you the comments whichever we give, it should tell us like what it's for what it is. Okay. So here I gave some comment, check if it is a prime number. Okay. So like these, you can write these comments. Okay. By looking at the comments, we can know what that particular thing is doing. Okay. So actual way to give the comments or to the function will be like returns x raised to the nth power, and parameter is x, right? So at the rate param type is number. Okay, it accepts the type as number. Okay, x number to rise. So the number which has to rise and nth is the power, must be a natural number. And at the rate return means what it will return, x raised to the nth power. So like this, actually for any function, you should describe what it takes and what it does. Okay. So let's go to objects. I'll give a little bit of introduction about objects. Okay. So object is also one type of data type, and others apart from object is primitive data type, and object is non-primitive data type. Okay, primitive means it will be containing only one single thing, like number contains only numbers like integer or floating point. Okay, string will contain only strings. Boolean will contains either true or false. But coming to objects, it can contain anything, number or a string or a boolean. Okay, that's why we call this as non-primitive type of data type. Okay, so we'll know how to declare an empty object and how we'll do. So object generally we call it as key value pair. Okay. Okay. Whenever we are creating a new object, it will be creating with this, like we how we write a block of code, the same thing, like the same thing we will be giving flower braces. Okay. It will be with flower bases. Okay. User equals to like starting flower base and closing flower base. Okay. Here with user, we have created an empty object. both are same, but here we are here let user equals to new object and user equals to this flower basis. Both are same, but uh, like how we are declared is different. Both are internally same. Okay. And in this, it will be containing key value pair. Okay, key value pair means I'll let you know. Okay. For example, here we are declaring an user object. Here name is a key and value is jar. Okay, age is key and value is 30. Okay. So if there is an object, the keys will be same. Like for example, we want to get like 100 users are there. For 100 users, we want to get their name and age. Okay. So here, name and age are keys. And for each user, value will be different. For me, it will be Sunil, and for you, it will be your own name, right? So here, keys will be name and age. The values will be at the right side after colon. Okay. I'll simply show you how to declare, and even you can even practice. Keep on writing. So for the first, like this key value pairs will be separated by comma. Okay, and for the last one, for the last property which is there, you can ignore this comma. Okay. For example, I'll show you. Where example user object is there. Okay. So in this, I want to have some properties. Okay. Name is one. Age is 20. Okay, and you can even give more, like for example, roll number. Okay, like anything. Okay, for the like how we are writing. First, we are giving name or the key and the value. Okay, this is key and this is value. Okay, like here I have like declared one object, and for example, if I want to get the value of name in the user object, how I will get? So for example, if I want to get name or age here, what I'll do, I'll put dot and age. It will be giving me the age. Okay. User object dot name. It will be giving me name. User object dot roll number. It will be giving me roll number. Okay. So if you have to access, you have to just give that particular object name dot the key so that we will be getting the value. Is everyone clear till here? Objects are important. Like you will be getting in whenever you are building any payloads for integrations and all. So you should have the basic understanding. Okay. Is everyone getting or any other doubts? Considering it as no. So for example, I gave something else. Like for example, user object dot like for example title which is Mr. or Mrs. that I am trying to access. Okay. I got output as undefined. Okay, why? Because there is no title is there defined. Okay, that's why I got undefined as a value. Why? There is no such thing which is called title. Okay. Whenever in any object, if it is not there and if you are trying to access, it will say undefined.
Like Sunil, I have a doubt here.
Okay.
For the object which we have declared, uh, is it required to use uh, quotes for the key also? Like I mean to say, for name, do we have to use the quotes or not required?
So like here we have only single things, right? For example, let me re-show. Okay. For example, we have only without spaces we have like a name is without spaces, age is without spaces. For example, okay, I want a rule number like this. Rule space number. Okay. Roll
Okay,
number like this. Then we should have quotes.
okay,
Like if it is a single like without spaces, then we can give. But if it has, then we should give it spaces. Okay. Then if you try to print the user object, we got role space number. Okay. Why we got? Because like there is space, we are declaring it like that. Okay.
okay,
If there is space between that, we should give it quotes.
okay,
Ideally we can everything we can give in quotes as well, but it's not needed if there is no spaces in this particular key. Okay.
okay.
And whenever you are trying to get the value, for example, user object dot name, I can get like this, but
Mhm.
user object dot roll number, I can't get the value like this because it will throw me an error. It will throw me an error. Okay. Because it will just check for roll, and after space it won't check like these values. So for that, how we should get these values are like we should put the like this particular square bracket, and in the quotes we should give the key value. Okay.
Okay,
So that we'll be able to get those values. Okay.
okay.
If you try to check this particular user object, here we have key and here we have value, right? So
Yes.
whenever you are trying to get the values, you can use square brackets and you can pass using code so that you will be getting the value. Okay.
Okay. And can you please also explain me the syntax for declaring, object within an object?
Yeah, that will go first. Will be like simple objects will be learning.
Okay.
Okay. So, and for example, there is user object already there. So based on the condition, you want to change the value of that particular user object value. Okay. For example, if if age is greater than 18, I want to introduce one more property into it, like one more key value pair. Okay. For example, where age is something. Okay. I'll get the age of this particular user, saying user object dot age. Okay. If the age is greater than 18, I'll introduce one more key value pair dynamically. Okay. If it is greater than 18, I'll say user object dot can string true. Lost the code. var age equals to user object dot age. If age is greater than 18, I am introducing one more, like I am trying to add a new property which is candring. So how we'll be adding that? We'll just say user object dot new property which I want to introduce, which is candring. Okay, I'm saying true. Else user object dot candring will have false. Okay, and now if I try to print this user object, I have candring as a new variable, okay, which I have introduced. Okay, so whenever you want to add new properties into it, how you will add? Just name of that object dot any new variable name equals to value. Okay, if we already have candring as any variable in this, it will be overriding that. If it doesn't have, it will create new one automatically. Any doubts here? Okay. So like initially we have assigned few values already, age, name already, right? For example, even we can create empty object like this. User is an empty object, and we can even give the values which is same thing, like